It's like you are weaponizing a human being and sending them into the wild. That's what parents do who do not raise their children. If you're not raising your children, you are weaponizing a human being and sending them into society. It should be a damn crime. JCTV, people meeting people, making memories. Let's talk about it, man. Welcome back. This is the first time, well, not the first time, but it's been about 6 or 7 months since we've been in the studio. I say we have as if I'm with a group, but we are a group. It is a team effort. Shout out Beast the Tyrant, Damo, Bells, Wiz, Charlie Mack, Hollis L. Edwards. Goodness. Audrey sometimes is in the mix. So it is a team effort. You can't have a Lunch Table podcast without having Lunch Table participants. I'm not going to be here that long, just in general. The show is going to be anywhere in between 30 minutes to an hour tops, because that's about how long lunch is. It's about 30 minutes to an hour. So there are a few things I want to discuss that just always grinds my gears. And the first one is bad parenting. People blame society on why the way things are, but it's not society. Society does not have sex and make babies. Society cannot do that. Society cannot have sex and make a baby. It cannot. But who can have sex and make a baby? A man and a woman. A man and a woman. Men who are healthy, women who are healthy, if they have sex, they can have a baby. They can make a baby. That's who makes babies. That's who raises babies. Bad parenting leads to a piss-poor society. I'm going to say it again. Here's some bread for your head. Bad parenting is the culmination. No, bad parenting equals a bad society. And I don't want to hear this crap about the schools are raising my children, the TV's raising your children. Before your child gets to a school, before your child turns on a TV, a device, before they do any of that, they see you. They hear you. Before they see or experience any of that, anything that society has to offer, they see you, mom, dad. They hear you, mom, dad. So it is your job to mold that child into what they're supposed to be, even if you didn't have it. Even if you didn't have that positive nurturing, you now know what to do. The thing about learning is you either can learn the wrong way or the right way, but still you're learning how to do it. You're either learning what to do or learning what not to do. So there's no excuse for a parent who knows right and from wrong and knows what they need, knows what that child needs, to not nurture that child. I blame parenting. I hate hearing this. The TV is raising my. I hate hearing it. It's lazy. It's just laziness. You cannot be you can. How are you a parent and your child is a sophomore, senior in high school and they're failing and you know nothing about it? How is your child 15 years old and they can't read and you know nothing about it? How is that a thing? Yes, I understand, you've got your own job. You have your life that you have to deal with, but your child is priority as a parent. They are priority, man. You cannot drop the ball on your child. The ramifications of having kids, it's truly not, it's not taught. It's not brought into the forefront. I believe that sex talk, that needs to start, I would say, as early as 4th, 5th grade. I know that may sound extremely young, but it needs to start then, especially now in today's age where everything is so accessible. But that talk needs to start at an early age. And what that talk needs to entail are all of the pitfalls for having a baby at an early age. Like all of the responsibility that goes into once you have that baby. That needs to, it needs to be explained. Because a child really doesn't see it. They don't see it. We never really, we know that, okay, this is a baby. We got to take care of it. It's my responsibility, but I don't think they really get it. I believe if there was a class, a course to where adults truly broke down what it is to have a child and to raise a child. Like what you sacrifice, what you can't do anymore, what is taken away from you. If that's truly, if that was a class, it may sound, I mean, they have classes for everything, but I truly believe that needs to be a class. Like a year-long class. A year-long class that is teaching youth the ramifications of having that child. It's not a 5-year or a 10-year, it's a forever thing. That entity that you create is forever. There aren't any takebacks. So that sex talk, and not just sex, but what comes from sex, and like that needs to be explained and really talked about. I never got it. I've never really even heard of these types of classes being offered. And it's just truly bringing the awareness of what you are sacrificing as a human being when you have a child. Because the only people that suffer are the children. I can talk about this so with passion is because I seen it. My mom and my father, they were not perfect, but they stuck it out. They did what they said, and they said what they did. My parents were the most. Ransom, Donnell Carey Sr., and Dorothy Carey are the best people I've ever met in my life. They're the most consistent people, the most disciplined people I have ever met in my life. So when I'm talking about this bad parenting and how it ruins a society, I had some really good teachers. And they didn't talk about it. They just showed me. I mean, yes, they told me the right way, but they showed me. Because we are not what we say. We are all of what we do. We're not what we say. We are what we do. I tell my kids, practice good habits. Habits are what you do. Your behavior is who you become. Habits, that's what you do. But after a certain amount of time, what you do becomes who you are. So your habits become your behavior. For an example, your habits were eating well. Your habits were sleeping well. Your habits were exercising often. Then you become healthy. Okay? Another example, if you are an addict, if my habit is I wake up in the morning and I get my fix, whether it's Coke, weed, alcohol, but whatever. If I do that all the time, and it dictates my world, then you become an addict. When you abuse drugs and alcohol, that's the habit. But your behavior is now that of an addict. Your habits are what you do. Your behavior is who you become. So practice good habits. My goodness, man, I've the past 2 months I've been practicing bad habits. I've been eating out more than I wanted to. I've been eating late at night, and I've gained like 10, 15 pounds. I can't even lie. I've gained about 10 unwanted pounds because I have been practicing bad habits. And then my behavior is my behavior. That's what I've become. I've become a little bit overweight. I've become a little damn pudgy. I have, and I don't like it. But why? Because I've practiced bad habits. The things that I was doing on the daily, they were negative. They weren't helpful. Eating processed foods, that's no good. Not exercising, that's no good. Eating late at night, then going to bed. Guess what? You're going to gain weight. That's not good. And these are my habits. These were my habits. These are my habits that I am working on and I'm currently wanting to change. But because of my habits, because of what I began, because of what I began employing and exercising, then I become unhealthy. So it's so hard to fall. It's so easy to fall back into bad habits. So we must be consistent. We must be disciplined. I'm not talking like I'm on a high horse. I go through this myself. This is therapeutic for me as well. These past 6 months, I've started 2 businesses. I've solidified JCTV LLC. It is an entertainment media company officially, entertainment media company. And then I also started my nonprofit. It's called Youth Pathways Project. Youth Pathways Project. So I've entered into the nonprofit sector. I was teaching for this one company, for the same company, but they brought in someone or an entity called a 2-hour learning, and the teachers of record who were in class, they pretty much kicked us out of class. And within the company, we could find other gigs, but we were no longer teachers because they are going forward with the 2-hour learning. And the 2-hour learning, the gist of it is the kids only work on subject matters for 2 hours, and then they have the rest of the day to personal development, life skills, et cetera, et cetera. On paper, that's what it's supposed to look like. But in real time, real life, that's not what happens. They spend about 4.5, 5 hours on this subject matter. Just from my experience, okay? I was there for 8 weeks, and this is what I saw. The teachers of record, we took like the back seat, and we were assisting, but they were running the show. And what I saw in the 2 months were the kids not practicing actual writing skills. The kids not actually practicing the reading skills. The kids I had were behind academically, not slow, just academically behind. So they wanted to bring in this 2-hour learning to help boost their skills, which I feel, I love IXL. It's a great software, but I don't think it should not be used as the main course. They are using this software, IXL, as the main course for the students. So there is no engagement, there is no instruction. And if you don't know, all the teachers in the world, they know this. Instruction is paramount. Engagement is paramount. Question asking is paramount. And that part of their education has been removed. These kids, they go to school, they do their assembly in the morning, and then they just open up the computer and start working. But I was there for 2 months. They aren't practicing any writing skills. How are you not practicing writing skills? I mean, the entire structure, like all of the skills you learn in grammar is to culminate into writing, and they're not practicing that part. The nouns, the pronouns, the parts of speech, subject, predicate, conjunctions, punctuations, sentence structure, compound sentences, paragraph form, paragraph structure, essay structure. This is all the writing. This is what they're going to be doing for the rest of their school year. Of their school life. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they're going to be asked to write papers, write reports, short answer, how to write the paragraph. They're going to be asked to do that work, and they're not being taught that. I said all that to say writing is huge, or the lack thereof. Writing isn't been taught anymore. Reading, writing is not been taught anymore. I was just having a conversation with my mom. I don't remember when I learned how to read. I don't remember. That was instilled in me so early, I don't remember learning how to read. I'm going to get to a point. Hold on. So what I've observed and witnessed is kids been on this earth almost a decade, my friends. These kids are on earth almost a decade, and they don't know how to read. The time has not been put into them to learn how to read, and that is shameful. The kids almost on this earth a decade, my friends, a decade, and don't know how to read. That is shameful. So I said all that to say I started my nonprofit that is going to be the glue between entertainment and education. The entertainment field is bustling with opportunities for youth to be able to make a living, hence podcasting. Like you could become your own boss knowing how this works, from conception to writing the script to marketing, the whole shebang. You can become your own boss via this vehicle. And that's one of the things that I want to teach. That's going to be one of the programs, a podcasting program, also a writing program, and podcasting, writing program, and personal development, EQ, emotional intelligence, not just what you know, but how to facilitate what you know. That is key. So my Youth Pathways project, my nonprofit, I started as well back in October. It's going to cover those bases. It's going to be the glue to tie entertainment and education together, and we're going to empower the youth via workforce readiness activities, which hasn't been in ever, but right now podcasting is a workforce readiness activity. I know a lot of people just do it for fun, but no, this is something where youth can really grab a hold onto and take ownership and make money. You know, so it's one of the programs that Youth Pathways program will offer. There was going to be a writing program and also most definitely a personal development program. Those are going to be the three pillars for Youth Pathways project. The past 2 months, with the past 6 months, again, I'm looking to just get better. My main thing is getting better and improving every single day. What can I do to be better? And those two companies I started, for one, it solidified JCTV. Two, it made me, with the Youth Pathways project, it gave me more of a direction, more of a purpose. I've been working with kids on and off for 21 years, like over 2 decades. And it's truly a passion of mine to help people, but most definitely help them because they're the ones who need it the most. And I was grateful. I've been blessed for having just a fantastic upbringing, having fantastic parents to guide me and to make sure that they put me in front of the right people. Like they knew they did. There was not one person that they put in front of me that they did not know regarding how this person was. Like they made sure to put people who were positively influential in my presence. Like that, like they made sure of that. I call my mom all the time. Well, not all the time, but I text her often, and I thank her. You know, I thank her for the work that she put into me, because especially after becoming a teacher and seeing the results of lack of parenting, bad parenting, if you will, I thank them so much, you know, because there are so many pitfalls that I avoided because they brought it to my attention. They taught me. There are some individuals who are late teens, in their 20s, and haven't gotten and have not received information regarding making good decisions or the ramifications of the decisions you make. There are some individuals who never get that talk. They have to experience life. They got to go to jail. They got to go to prison. They got to get maimed. So many things have to happen to them for them to finally get that lesson. So shout out to parents who instill these lessons that can irreparably change your life. Shout out to them who facilitate these lessons early on to their children. Make the mistakes then. Make adolescent mistakes when you're an adolescent, not when you are an adult. Make adolescent mistakes when you are an adolescent, not when you are an adult. The ramifications and the consequences for those actions are far worse when you are an adult. So parents, I'm talking to you. It is up to you, parents, mentors, guardians. It's up to you. It's up to us. But for sure, parents, do your job, man. Your job are those kids. Do your job. And if you need some help, get help. But for parents who do not put in the quality time, the adequate time into raising their children, I think that's a crime. Because what you're doing is you are molding this sociopath or this regular person into a sociopath, into an abuser, into everything low frequency by what you are instilling in them or lack thereof. It's like you are weaponizing a human being and sending them into the wild. That's what parents do who do not raise their children. If you're not raising your children, you are weaponizing a human being and sending them into society. It should be a damn crime. Meeting people, making memories. JC David. This is the Lunch Table. Next week, we were going to have Beast the Tyrant. He's going to be in the building. Damo in the City is going to be in the building, I believe. And those are the two who confirmed. But I'm looking to have a full house moving forward. But you can check out the show right now, streaming everywhere at the Lunch Table PodcastATX. You can check it out everywhere, all the major streaming platforms. You can find us. Subscribe to the show. We're on YouTube as well. Subscribe to the channel. And to help support the show and to keep everything and keep the wheels greased and moving, you can go to jctv.com and you can purchase some of our merch. Really, really dope stuff. Get some bread for your head. And then, the new logo, hats, hoodies, trucker hats, the whole shebang. I appreciate your time. We meet people. We make memories. We out.